Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Want to learn English but don't know where to start? Let's begin with basic greetings. Greetings are the building blocks of any conversation, the first impression you make when you meet someone new. So it's important to get them right. In English, we have greetings for different times of the day. In the morning, you might say good morning to your colleagues as you walk into the office. As the day progresses, this changes to good afternoon. And when the sun begins to set, we switch to good evening. It's as simple as that. Now, if the time of day isn't clear, or if you're in a casual setting, you might choose to use the universal hello. It's a safe bet at any time of day with anyone you meet. On the other hand, hi is a more casual greeting, perfect for informal settings or with people you know well. Hey is even more casual than hi, and is often used among friends. Now let's talk about goodbyes. Goodbye is the most common way to bid someone farewell in English, but in less formal situations, you might choose to use bye or see you. If you're leaving but you'll be seeing the person later in the day, you can say, see you later. In more formal situations, you might say farewell. This is a bit old-fashioned, but still used in certain contexts. One more thing to keep in mind is that in English, we often ask, how are you? Right after saying hello. It's a way to show interest in the other person's well-being. Common responses to this question are, I'm fine, thank you, or I'm good, thanks. Remember, the key to mastering these greetings is repetition. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. So take every opportunity to practice these phrases in your daily life. Remember, practice makes perfect. Repeat these greetings until they become second nature to you. Now that you know how to greet, let's learn how to introduce yourself. Imagine you've just met someone new. After saying hello, what comes next? It's time to introduce yourself. This is a crucial step in starting a conversation. Whether you're meeting a new classmate or a potential employer, start with the basics. A simple, my name is, followed by your name is an easy and universal way to introduce yourself. For example, you can say, my name is John. It's short, sweet, and to the point. Another important part of an introduction is sharing where you're from. You can do this by saying, I am from, then adding your city or country. If you're from New York, you can say, I am from New York. If you're from Australia, you could say, I am from Australia. Knowing how to share these basic details about yourself can help you feel more confident in English-speaking situations. But it's also fun to share a little bit more about yourself. You might want to include details about your job or your hobbies. To talk about your job, you could say, I work as a, followed by your profession. For example, I work as a teacher. Or if you're a student, you could say, I am a student. When it comes to hobbies, the phrase I enjoy is a great way to share what you like to do. You could say, I enjoy reading or I enjoy playing soccer. Remember, it's not just about knowing the words and phrases. It's also about how you say them. Speak clearly and confidently, and don't forget to smile. It'll make you appear friendly and approachable. And don't worry if you make a mistake or stumble over your words. It's all part of the learning process. The most important thing is to keep practicing. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. So there you have it. You now have the tools you need to introduce yourself in English. From stating your name and where you're from, to sharing a bit about your job and hobbies, these phrases can help you start a conversation in any English-speaking context. Introducing yourself is a key part of any conversation, so make sure to practice what you've learned. Moving on, let's learn how to ask and answer some common questions. When you meet someone for the first time, it's a good idea to ask a few basic questions to get to know them better. It's not only polite, but it also helps break the ice and initiate a conversation. So what are some of the common questions you can ask? Well, a good starting point is asking their name. You can simply ask, what's your name? It's straightforward, and it opens the door to further conversation. Once they've told you their name, you can respond with, nice to meet you. Another common question is, where are you from? This question can lead to a variety of responses and can spark a conversation about their hometown or country. If they ask you the same question, you can say, I'm from. Now, let's talk about how to answer these questions with confidence. When someone asks you, what's your name? You can respond by saying, my name is. It's a simple, clear response. When asked, where are you from? You can reply, I'm from. Again, it's a straightforward answer, but it also provides an opportunity for further conversation. You can add a little more about your home if you feel comfortable doing so. A key point to remember when asking and answering these questions is to maintain eye contact and speak clearly. This shows that you are engaged in the conversation and interested in what the other person has to say. Another tip is to listen attentively to the person's responses. This will help you to follow up with relevant comments or questions, keeping the conversation flowing naturally. In summary, asking and answering simple questions like, "What's your name?" and "Where are you from?" is a fundamental part of everyday conversations. These questions help to break the ice and provide a starting point for getting to know the other person. Don't be shy to ask questions. It's a great way to keep the conversation going and learn more about the person you're talking to. Proper pronunciation is essential in English. Let's go over some tips. Think of English pronunciation as a musical score. Each word has its own rhythm, stress patterns, and intonation. For example, the word introduce has 3 syllables, but the stress falls on the second syllable. Introduce. It's not introduce or introduce. To perfect your pronunciation, it's important to listen and imitate native speakers. You can find plenty of resources online or in language learning apps. Repeat after the speaker, focusing on the rhythm and stress of each word. Another crucial aspect is the pronunciation of individual sounds. Some English sounds might not exist in your native language, so they can be tricky. Practice makes perfect, so don't be shy. Practice these sounds out loud. Lastly, don't forget to move your mouth. English requires a lot of movement, especially compared to some other languages. Remember, good pronunciation can make your English clearer and easier to understand. Finally, let's put everything we've learned into practice. Imagine you're meeting a new person. You'd start off by saying, "Good morning" or "Hello." Then you'd introduce yourself by saying, "My name is," and share a bit about yourself. "I am from," or "I work as a." Now let's flip the roles. If someone introduces themselves to you, you can respond with "Nice to meet you." Then you can ask simple questions like, "What's your name?" or "Where are you from?" Remember to listen attentively to their answers and respond appropriately. These are just basic dialogues, but they are the foundation of any conversation. Practice them with a friend or even in front of a mirror. The more you practice, the more naturally these phrases will come to you. Remember, language is not just about words and grammar. It's about connecting with people. The best way to learn English is by using it. So don't be afraid to start a conversation in English whenever you can.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level A1. Hello. Hello, a greeting or expression of goodwill. Example, hello. How are you today? Goodbye. Goodbye, a parting phrase used when leaving. Example, goodbye. See you tomorrow. Please. Please, used to politely ask for something. Example, can you help me, please? Thank you. Thank you, an expression of gratitude. Example, thank you for your help. Excuse me. Excuse me, used to get someone's attention or to apologize for a minor offense. Example, excuse me, can you tell me the time?